The SS Badger is the filthiest ship on the Great Lakes, and unfortunately the EPA has entered into a consent decree that will allow this ship to continue to pollute Lake Michigan for at least 2 more years. We think there needs to be a response to the EPA, and we're calling on people across the Chicagoland area and around the Great Lakes to join us. This consent decree was entered into with the EPA a few days ago. We have a few days left, maybe 2 weeks left at the most, to make public comments on this consent decree. The consent decree allows the ship to continue to operate for 2 more years. It puts what we consider to be weak requirements on the reduction of the dumping of coal ash by the SS Badger into Lake Michigan. Let me put this in perspective. Every time the SS Badger, which is an auto ferry, coal-fired auto ferry, crosses Lake Michigan, it dumps more than 2 tons of coal ash into the lake. Over the course of a season, we think over 700 tons of coal ash is dumped into Lake Michigan by this vessel. That's 5 times the discharge of all the other vessels on the Great Lakes in the United States. This one filthy ship. For 5 years, they've been given a deadline to clean up their act by 2013. They failed to meet the deadline. Now we have a consent decree with the EPA that allows them to consider changing their vessel over the next 2 years and to continue operation. That is unacceptable. We're calling on people today to join us, to say to the EPA during this comment period when the public can speak up. During this comment period, we're calling on the EPA to toughen this consent decree, to make sure it's more transparent, to make sure there are more disclosures by the SS Badger Company in terms of what they are going to do, to report on their progress and how they are cleaning up this vessel, finally, after all these years that we have been waiting. We want to make certain that this Lake Michigan is protected by the EPA and protected from what the SS Badger has done for more than 58 years. When I think back, it was just a few years ago when I joined Congressman Rahm Emanuel, and we were fighting BP down at the end of the lake here, with the prospect that that refinery was going to dump some awful chemicals into Lake Michigan. Sadly, the amount of chemicals involved in that particular debate, which ended well for us, I might add, is a fraction of what the SS Badger dumps every single year into the lake.